welcome to my channel. I am Valerie with 5P Designs, and I took a brief little video before I set this all up to give you a little background story of our project today. Our kitchen. So our kitchen is actually a salvaged kitchen that was originally in one of my father's clients' houses, and when they redid their kitchen, we took this one and replaced our 1950s style cabinets. And it fit perfectly except for this area right here. So if I lift this up, there's a big hole between the parts of the counter, and then the cabinets didn't meet together here, but luckily we found a wine cooler, which currently doesn't work, but it fit perfectly where there was a missing cabinet. So I'm gonna get set up to paint, and then I will be right back with you. We will make this area look just a tad bit nicer. Okay, so now you know the background story. And after I shot that, I went ahead and cleaned the bread box. My plan was to take this lid off and paint them separately because it looked like you could just pop it out, but when I tried to do that, the metal kind of started bending, so I'm just gonna paint it as is, and hopefully it doesn't look goofy. We shall see. I'm also gonna do a little side project in today's video. My husband and my daughters have been playing with cement creations, and this one they made out of an old rag. You can see the texture of it. It was one of those like knitted or crocheted dish towels, and they poured concrete, and it actually looks pretty cool. So I'm going to paint it up, and then we're going to plant my daughter's plants that she has in her room in here. It'll be a neat little sculpture for her room and her plants. So that's the side project. We'll get to painting this. For the bread box, I am using Debbie's Design Diary paint, DIY paint in White Swan. It's one of my favorites. Works really well for a lot of things. Minimal prep work, so really all I've done is clean this. It's been in the kitchen. I wanted to make sure there was no grease on it or anything. There's actually a little sticky part here I missed, so there we go. And we're gonna start painting. Now I'm going to, when you open it, you do see this side. I'm not sure if I'm gonna paint that. I probably will. It'll look goofy. We'll see. So I'll paint the front part here, and we'll see how that looks. I'm using a foam paintbrush for this. I thought it would be minimal brush strokes there. And I think I'll probably need maybe 3 coats. So you'll see that I'm not dressed all nice today, because I figured while the coats of paint are drying, I'll get some things done around the house. I need to mow the lawn, gotta get my workout in, so if I come back all sweaty, you'll know why. Show you a little bit of how it looks while I'm painting this first coat, then I'll pause the video, paint the rest, and we'll come back to you when we have more progress. So this is how it's looking for the first coat there. So I'm going to continue on with this, and I'll check back with you when things are moving along. And then once this is all painted white, I have a plan. If the stencil that I have fits, I'm going to do some stenciling in the front, because you can't just leave things plain. That's no fun. Quick little update. So this is coat number 2. While I waited for coat number 1 to dry, I got the lawn mowed and trimmed, and yes, Mom, I did wear my safety glasses. I also painted this. And we weren't going for full coverage, we just wanted a little bit of color and to show all this cool texture on there. So we'll let that dry, and I'll have to seal it with something, and then we can put her plants in it, and I think it'll look super cool in her room. So this is definitely going to need a 3rd coat, so I'm going to go get some more things done while this 2nd coat dries, and we'll put that 3rd coat on. And I'm also going to check and see if the stencil that I wanted to use will fit, and if not, I'll come up with another idea. So we'll be back soon. Alright, Alright, we are back. I did do 3 coats and there are actually still a few spots that I have to touch up, but I'm going to go ahead and stamp and then I will touch up those little parts. I actually just scraped a bit off with my fingernail right before the video. So that's what I need to touch up. I decided to use the IOD Decor Stamps for this, and it says, surprise, surprise, bread. So we're going to use that. Originally I was going to use something else, but it was just too like floral and fancy looking for the other decor in my kitchen. I just didn't think it would match. I actually asked my daughter's opinion and she's like, yeah, don't use that one. So we're going with an alternative plan. Also, I found it really hard to paint inside of this handle. So I don't really like how that turned out, and it's still tacky and wet. So I'm hoping when it dries, I can just sand it up a little bit and it'll be smoother, but it looks kind of messy. So hopefully I can fix that up. The other part that was tricky was I thought it would look stupid when the bread box was open to not paint this section, but I found that it was just becoming too thick to open and close. So I did like 2 coats on there, but it's not going to stay on because it's just going to rub. But for the most part, the bread box is going to be closed. We don't leave it open, so it doesn't really matter. And I wasn't painting the inside anyway, so we're just going to go with it because that's what you have to do with projects sometimes. Excuse me while I break the box because I can't pick it up properly. Okay, so the IOD stamps. So I've done some videos on these before, but if you haven't watched those, they come in these nice packs. So this one has uppercase and lowercase letters. I use these a lot. I just love them. And then it comes with a sheet over top of it, and I use that to lay out my letters. And when you first get these, you just scuff the top of them with a sanding block like this one. Just real gentle, gives it a little bit of tooth for the paint to stick to. In this instance, and I pretty much always use this for these, I use their ink. You get a blank stamp pad, and let's see, let me find it for you. A bottle of ink that you just squirt over here. So I'm actually going to put a wee bit more on the ink pad right now. So you just fill it up like that. And then I usually take a popsicle stick and just rub over it and smooth it out. And I always keep the same one and use that. Then you have a brayer, and you just roll that over and roll it onto your stamps. So I'm just going to take a look here and see where exactly I want to place it. So now, here's the ink, here's my brayer. Okay, that looks good. Just run this across my letters. A little bit more here. To distress your stamp after you're done, you're going to want to seal your paint beforehand, because if you try to sand over this, especially with the white, you're just going to muddy up your paint and you're not going to be happy. So seal it first. And slow and steady. This is tricky because it's curved. I'm a little nervous. A little bit nervous. Gently run your fingers down. I didn't think about how this is curved and how it would be extra tricky. But it's okay, because like I always say in videos, if you mess up, only paint, and you can fix it with your paint over it. Just want to take a step back and look at it. So, bit and it looks a little wonky. That's upside down, of course, but so you can see. It's still wet on the bottom there. Let's see here. Let's spin it around for you. I did not do that perfectly at all because it's a little bit. So I'm gonna think about that and I might redo it. Actually, I think I'm not. I don't really mind it. Because we don't do imperfections around here. I don't mind it, I'm gonna leave it. So I'm gonna touch up those little areas of paint that I scraped off, let that dry, and then I'm gonna seal it. And to seal this, I'm going to actually use a Fusion Mineral product. It's called Tough Coat. Because this is in a kitchen and we're gonna have to wipe it down, you're gonna definitely want a top coat that can withstand that. And I use this actually on my kitchen cabinets and it's been great. I've wiped them many, many times. So I'll use this to seal it and it takes 12 hours to dry. I'll actually have to finish this video tomorrow. So, all right, I'm gonna get to those last little touch-ups. And also I wanted to show you, I went ahead and planted the little concrete planter that my husband and my daughter made. So it turned out actually really cute. So we'll put that in her room and finish this up. Quick little update. The last video when I stamped, I kind of wasn't happy with the results because I shifted a little bit. So what I did is I took a little painter's brush and just touched it up with the White Swan paint, and now it looks much, much better. So I have the top coat on now drying, and once that's dry tomorrow, I may add some detail like the tea caddy that I have. So if you pop back over to the beginning of the video, if you don't remember what that looks like, or actually, let me do you one better. Are you dizzy yet? I'm going to add some little marks with the black paint like on this one to give it a kind of distressed look. Here is the finished bread box. I did go ahead and add those distress marks and I really like the final result. It gives it so much character and ties in nicely with the coffee and tea area on its right. I also found a new cutting board that doesn't have the little handle cut out, and it just makes it look cleaner and nicer, and I'm really, really happy with the results.